This is video 10A for the Year 10 Mathematics course. In this video, we're going to be covering some example questions from equations of the form x squared equals k, under the topic of quadratic equations. The 10 questions we will be going through are now displayed on the screen, so I recommend that you attempt these questions before watching the rest of this video. Question 1. Solve for x. X squared minus 12 is equal to negative 8. So here we have the equation of x squared take 12 is equal to negative 8. So the first thing that we need to do here is rearrange this equation to get the x squared by itself. The way that we can do that is we first of all add 12 to both sides. This cancels with this. And so now what we have is x squared is equal to 4. Now we can take the square root of both sides and we get x is equal to plus minus the square root of 4. The square root of 4 is of course 2, so then our final answer is x equals plus minus 2. Question 2. Solve for x. 3x squared is equal to 75. So we start off with 3x squared is equal to 75. First thing that we need to do here is get this x squared all by itself, and we can do that here by dividing through everything by 3. This cancels with this. And so now what we are left with is x squared is equal to 25. By taking the square root of both sides, we get x is equal to plus minus the square root of 25. The square root of 25 is 5, so then our final answer is x equals plus minus 5. Question 3. Solve for x. 1 minus 2x squared is equal to minus 17. So here we start off with 1 take 2x squared is equal to minus 17. First thing that we need to do here is isolate this x squared. So we can do that first by subtracting 1 from both sides. This cancels with this. And so now what we have is minus 2x squared is equal to minus 18. And now we can divide through by negative 2. This is going to cancel with that. And so now what we have is x squared is equal to 9. By taking the square root of both sides, we get x is equal to plus minus the square root of 9. Square root of 9 is 3, so then our final answer is x equals plus minus 3. Question 4. Solve for x. 3x squared plus 10 equals 2. Okay, so here we have 3x squared plus 10 is equal to 2. We need to first of all isolate this x squared. We can do that by first of all subtracting 10 from both sides. This is going to cancel with that. So now what we have is 3x squared is equal to negative 8. Now we can divide through by 3. This cancels with this. And so then what we have is x squared is equal to negative 8 over 3. Now the interesting thing about this particular case is that we now have this equation in the form of x squared equals a negative number. And we know that in any situation like this, where this number here is negative, there are no real solutions. And so we can simply say here that there are no solutions for x. Question 5. Solve for x. X squared over 4 take 5 is equal to 4. So we have x squared over 4 take 5 is equal to 4. First thing that we need to do here is rearrange this equation to get the x squared by itself. We can start off this by adding 5 to both sides. This cancels with this. So now we have x squared over 4 is equal to 9. And now we can multiply both sides by 4. This is going to cancel with this. And so then what we're left with is x squared is equal to 36. By taking the square root of both sides, we get x is equal to plus minus root 36. Root 36 is equal to 6. So then our final answer is x equals plus minus 6. Question 6. Solve for x. X plus 1 all squared equals 9. So here we have x plus 1 all squared is equal to 9. So because we have a bracket being squared, the first thing that we can do here is take the square root of both sides. Doing so, we get x plus 1 is equal to plus minus root 9. Root 9 is 3, so we get x plus 1 is equal to plus minus 3. Now we want to try and get this x all by itself. The way that we're going to do that is by taking 1 from both sides. This cancels with this, and so now we have x is equal to -1 plus minus 3. Or in other words, we have -1 take 3 and -1 plus 3, which are equal to -4 and +2. Question 7. Solve for x. X minus 3 all squared equals 3. So we have x minus 3 all to the power of 2 is equal to 3. And in this case, because we have a bracket being squared, the first thing that we can do is take the square root of both sides. In doing so, we then have x minus 3 is equal to plus minus root 3. We can't simplify down root 3 anymore, so we'll just have to leave that there. But now we want to get this x all by itself. We can do that by adding 3 to both sides. This cancels with this. And so then we have x is equal to 3 plus minus root 3. Question 8. Solve for x. 2x plus 1 all squared is equal to 16. So here we have 2x plus 1 all squared is equal to 16. So because we have a bracket being squared, the first thing that we can do here is square root both sides. And in doing so, we are then left with 2x plus 1 is equal to plus minus root 16. Root 16 is equal to 4. So then we have 2x plus 1 is equal to plus minus 4. Now we want to get this x all by itself. First thing that we can do here is subtract 1 from both sides. This is going to cancel with this. And so now we have 2x is equal to -1 plus minus 4. And then we can divide through by 2. This is going to cancel with that. And so then we have x is equal to -1 plus minus 4 over 2. Or in other words, we have -1 take 4 over 2 and -1 plus 4 over 2. By simplifying both of these, we get -5 over 2 and 3 over 2. Question 9. Solve for x. 3 multiplied by 2x take 5 all squared equals 3. So here we have 3 multiplied by 2x take 5 all squared is equal to 3. First thing that we can do here is isolate this bracket which is being squared. Best way that we can do that is by first of all dividing through by 3. This is going to cancel with this. And so now what we have is 2x take 5 all squared is equal to 1. Now we can take the square root of both sides. Doing so, we get 2x take 5 is equal to plus minus the square root of 1. Square root of 1 is just 1. So then we have 2x take 5 is equal to plus minus 1. Now we want to get this x all by itself. First things first, we can add 5 to both sides. This cancels with this. So now we have 2x is equal to 5 plus minus 1. And then we can divide through by 2. This cancels with that. And so then we have x is equal to 5 plus minus 1 over 2. Or in other words, 5 take 1 over 2 and 5 plus 1 over 2, which simplify down to 2 and 3. Question 10. Solve for x. -2 by 2x take 1 all squared equals -10. So here we have -2 multiplied by 2x take 1 all squared is equal to -10. So here we need to try and isolate this bracket being risen to the power of 2. Best way that we can do that is by first of all dividing through by -2. This is going to cancel with that. And so then we're left with 2x take 1 all squared is equal to 5. Now we can take the square root of both sides. And in doing so, we're then left with 2x take 1 is equal to plus minus root 5. We can't simplify down root 5 any further, so we'll just have to leave it like this. And now we want to try and isolate this x. First thing that we can do here is add 1 to both sides. This cancels with that. And so then we have 2x is equal to 1 plus minus root 5. And then finally, we can divide through by 2. This cancels with this. So then our final answer is x equals 1 plus minus root 5 all divided by 2.